But today, I'm talking about the first OC I ever made, and honestly, this guy might have been like a canon event for me because I don't think he might have been my Uncle Ben because I I'm an art major. I'm a art major in college, and even though I really like art, I never really had gotten into it until I like really gotten into it until like maybe junior year of high school, I'd say, is when I really got into it. Like, I had always had a sketchbook since middle school. I think I took an art class in like sophomore year of high school. But like talking about really, really getting into it, I don't think like I really started committing to it until junior year in high school. And the reason for that is because I had been watching Demon Slayer at the time, and I think my friend who was watching it with me, she was like, "Yo, why don't we make OCs for it?" And before that, I never made an OC. I think I was still kind of in that emo phase where I'm like, ah, OCs are cringe. Yeah, like OCs are cringe. Like only silly people who want to like self-insert themselves make OCs, and this and that. But she wanted to, and I'm like, this could be fun. This could be interesting. And then eventually, after a little brainstorming, a little bit of experimenting, I came up with Senshi. And yeah, the name I came up with for him is Senshi Kizento, which looking back on it, probably one of the most basic names I could have come up with. But at the time, I was trying to find a name for him that meant the same thing as my name, because William, the name William, I made a video about being named Will, full name William. It means like resolute protector, resolute warrior, kind of knight type thing. And I'm like, okay, well, what is like warrior or whatever in Japanese? And it was senshi, and I'm like, okay. And then of course, Kizento means resolute. So you basically have the same thing there. And I was like, okay, Senshi Kizento, that rolls off the tongue. It sounds nice. Senshi's a cute little name. Perfect. But yeah, from there it was just like when I go back to my old sketchbooks, it's just all Senshi, just like Senshi, Senshi, Senshi over and over again, drawing him. And of course, I would branch out and do other things as well. But Senshi was really like the first made me like just have a reason to draw, not just like, oh, that looks cool, like once a week. And yeah, I kept doing that. I kept doing that, and eventually, like nowadays, I have a tablet and I'm more of a digital artist. But I cherish those original sketchbook pieces. Of course, I came up with a whole story for him and a whole backstory. And honestly, I think I cooked. So sit down at the campfire, um, get your popcorn. Here we go. So basically, spoiler warning for Demon Slayer, by the way. It's not a lot of spoilers, but it does get into spoiler territory at the beginning. So basically, this story starts back in Yorichi's time. It was stated by Kokushibo that no one else besides Yorichi had ever mastered Breath of the Sun. But in my story, I guess you could call it like my little AU, there was one other swordsman who was able to learn Breath of the Sun, and his name was Musashi Kuzento. I know, naming genius. You don't have to thank me. But Musashi Kuzento was the only of Yorichi's students that was able to learn and master Breath of the Sun. Now, of course, he wasn't as strong as Yorichi, but he was able to use sun breathing, which of course made Kokushibo absolutely livid because it was bad enough when just he couldn't live up to Yorichi, but seeing someone else do it and master his technique without him being able to do it, of course, even more mad. So then, whatever happens, happens. Kokushibo becomes a demon. Yorichi fails to kill Muzan. And Yorichi kind of realizes, damn, they know about sun breathing now, and Kokushibo probably. I don't think it's ever stated that Yorichi knew about Kokushibo's jealousy, but I feel like since they were brothers, he must have known somewhat. Yorichi's thinking, after all that, he's thinking, oh shoot, okay, Musashi might be in a bit of trouble here because after I'm gone, Muzan and Kokushibo are probably going to try and wipe out any trace of sun breathing that's left. I'm the only person who has ever threatened Muzan, and you know how Kokushibo feels. So after I'm not in the picture anymore, they're probably gonna come after sun breathing. They're probably gonna try and wipe it out. So basically, Yorichi goes to Musashi and says, "Man, listen, I have an impossible task for you. I need you to go into hiding, and I need you to be the one to keep sun breathing alive, because I can't do anything now in my lifetime. But I feel like when the time comes, sun breathing is going to be the key to saving humanity." And Musashi, being the goat he is, says, "Okay, I got you." And he takes his family and he goes to a mountain that's clouded in fog, which is very hard to navigate. And he basically lives right on the top of that mountain with his family. And generations pass. Musashi passes down sun breathing to his children, and they pass it down to their children. It's just generations of just them living in seclusion on this mountain. And yeah, but eventually, of course, we get generations and generations down to Senshi. And Senshi was born about the same time as Tanjiro and all the other main cast members, and it's stated at this point in the story that the Demon Slayer Corps is the strongest it's ever been since Yorichi's time. Senshi's family has connections to the Demon Slayer Corps. They kind of because obviously when the time is right, the Kazento family wants to bring sun breathing back into the world when they feel like they have a fighting chance against Muzan. So basically, Senshi's father is contacted by Ubayashiki and saying, "Hey, bro, I think it's time. The core is the strongest it's been since then. I think we legit have a chance here. Um, Send your best." And at this time, Senshi's about 16, so he's been training for this moment. He's been ready to go, and yeah, he heads out into the world, becomes a demon slayer, joins the core, and it's just defeat Muzan, save the world. But also for Senshi personally, he's after Kokushibo because he views Kokushibo as the shadow over his family, the person that's keeping them in seclusion, hiding away for generation, like wasting away, as he sees it, after generation after generation. Because like Muzan, of course, wanted sun breathing gone as well, but he wasn't as hell bent on it as Kokushibo was, because Kokushibo, of course, boiling in jealousy. No matter how much time passes, his jealousy doesn't fade. So of course, if Kokushibo had any chance of wiping out sun breathing, he would, which is why it's so dangerous to leave. And since she sees that, yeah, he's the big bad of my family. If I defeat him, my family can be safer at least. Defeat him and Muzan, my family will be safe. Senshi was incredibly important to me, and I'm glad that I made him because he's the foundation that started it all. So, but yeah, that's all I want to talk about today. Hope you like the art, and see you guys later.